let's just further talk about the solutions of the pair of the linear equation. So now we have a really important concept which is related with the solution of the pair of the linear equation, and that concept is actually called as the consistent and inconsistent solution. What is the meaning of consistent solution and what is the meaning of inconsistent solution? So let's just talk about the consistent word first. What is the meaning of a consistent solution? So if we are talking about the solution for a pair of linear equation, then a pair of linear equation which has a solution, if a pair of linear equation has a solution, then it is called as a consistent pair of linear equation, and the inconsistent means they has no solution at all. So a pair of linear equation which has no solution at all, it is called as an inconsistent pair of linear equation. So always remember, whenever we are talking about the solutions of the pair of the linear equation, then they are of two types: consistent solution, inconsistent solution. Consistent solution means they has a solution, and inconsistent means they has no solution at all. So always remember what is the meaning of consistent and inconsistent, because on the basis of these two concepts we will do a lot of questions. Now let's just talk about the another important keyword, that is nothing but a dependent pair of linear equation in two variable. So what is a dependent pair of linear equation in two variable? A pair of linear equations which are equivalent has infinitely many distinct common situations or solutions, such a pair is called as a dependent pair of linear equation in two variables. So whenever we are talking about a pair of linear equation which are actually equivalent to each other, as we have seen, whenever the two equations are equivalent to each other, then they have common solutions because they are coincident in nature. Whenever two equations are equivalent, then they are coincident, and such type of pair of linear equations are called as dependent pair of linear equations in two variables, because they have infinitely many distinct common solutions. So always remember what is the meaning of dependent pair of linear equation in two variable. Now further, there is a special note that a dependent pair of linear equation is always consistent. It is always consistent. It is consistent because it do has a solution. Obviously the solutions are infinitely many, but still they has a solution. So a dependent pair of linear equation is always consistent. So these three keywords are really very important. What is a consistent solution? What is an inconsistent solution? What is a dependent pair of linear equation in two variables? So this is all about the three concepts. Now let's just move on further and talk about further pair of equations. Pair of equations. Obviously we are aware about the pair of linear equations, that the pair of linear equations can be parallel to each other if we are taking them in a graphical method. They can be parallel to each other, they can be intersecting, they can be coincident. So similarly, on the same way, we are talking about consistent, inconsistent and dependent, that how they can represent them as being consistent in a graphical manner, inconsistent in a graphical manner, and dependent in a graphical manner. So let us suppose if we are talking about being consistent, so whenever the two lines are intersecting in such a manner, then they are definitely called as consistent. And further, when they are parallel to each other, when they are parallel to each other, they has no common solution at all, then they are called as inconsistent. And whenever the two lines come as coincident to each other, means lying on each other, as you can see, blue line, red line, both are lying on each other, then they are called as dependent. So for the very first, we can say they must have a unique solution. Whenever the two lines are intersecting each other, they are called as they are having a consistent solution, or we can say they have a unique solution, because this single point, that is this white point, is actually representing they have only one common solution, and this common solution is actually unique. So for a consistent pair of equation, we have a unique solution. For the inconsistent pair of equation, we have no solutions at all. For a dependent pair of equation, we have infinitely many solutions. So always remember these three cases, that for any pair of equation, being consistent, they has unique solution, being inconsistent, they has no solution, and being dependent, they has infinitely many solutions. So this is all about these three important concepts regarding the pair of linear equations.